On January the 29th, 2022, at approximately 9 p.m., Officer Daniel Sayota of the Vancouver, Oregon Police Department was shot and killed at his home by a Clark County deputy, Jonathan Feller. Deputy Feller had been in pursuit of an armed robbery suspect who had been tracked to Officer Sayota's house. Deputy Feller arrived at the officer's home and, believing he was shooting the suspect, shot and killed Officer Sayota. The video for today, I'm going to break down the timeline of events so we can better understand how this happened. On January 29, 2022, at about 8:14 p.m., officers were dispatched on a call about an armed robbery to a convenience store. The caller stated the suspect had a handgun and demanded money.
911, how can I help you?
Hi, I work at the Chevron at 117th, and I just had an armed robbery.
Okay. How long ago was this?
Literally 30 seconds ago.
Okay. What kind of weapon?
It was a handgun. Looks like a Glock.
What did he say? Did he take anything?
He said, give me all the money in the register, and was pointing the gun at my chest.
Okay.
At 8:24 p.m., officers who responded to scene were able to get on the air and stated they verified that an armed robbery had occurred. At 8:26 p.m., a deputy spotted the suspect's vehicle on Interstate 205 at Padden Parkway. The deputy attempted a traffic stop and the vehicle took off. A supervisor was able to get on the air and announce that a pursuit was authorized.
Break. Might have the, we got the Mercedes here. It's taking off northbound 205 from Padden. And 73 is behind it. DD5 northbound. 469, you're authorized to pursue. Sam 71, I got the ball. We're northbound, 100 miles an hour.
The pursuit lasted about 5 minutes before the suspect swerved to avoid a set of spike strips and collided with another vehicle. The suspect then fled on foot.
He missed the spikes, hit the kid. All right, break. He is wrong way. Collided with the car, east of 72nd Avenue, north at. All right, he's going to foot bail. He's trapped here.
Officers from several jurisdictions flooded the area to create a perimeter to prevent the suspect from escaping the area of the crash. Air assets, in the form of Clark County Sheriff's Office unmanned drone and Portland Police fixed-wing aircraft, were called into the area. At 8:51 p.m., officers and deputies in the area were given an updated suspect description. He was described as a darker-skinned white male with a long-sleeved shirt and a black undershirt, blue jeans, dark shoes, and a white flat-bill cap, wearing a mask, glasses, and having shaggy hair.
43, I'll take a description. Everybody's ready.
Good.
Looks like he's going to be a darker skinned white male. He's like a tan. He has a white long sleeve shirt with a black undershirt, blue jeans, dark shoes. He's wearing a white ball cap, flat bill. The bill itself is black. He was wearing a mask at the time and glasses. And he has shaggy hair coming up the back of his ball cap.
At 8:52 p.m., air assets observed the suspect and began watching him.
Okay, break. UAS has a single person spotted walking, it looks like 84th Avenue. He's 84th Ave. Looks like he's up Because if you look at the map where the creek crosses, he's just south of it, walking southbound. Okay, this person's now running towards the residence there off of 84th. Person just ran, looks like they're on the porch of residence here.
At 8:56 p.m., Officer Sayoda's wife called 911 stating she had a strange man at her house and that her husband had walked outside to confront him.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
84th Avenue.
Okay, and how can I help you?
There's a stranger at our door saying he just crashed his car and he needs us to call somebody, but he's very suspicious and we hear a bunch of sirens in the background.
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Yes, please.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah, my husband's a police officer. He's at the door with him right now.
Okay, can you give me a description of him by chance?
Of my husband or the...
the subject.
No, I'm in the other part of the house.
Okay, so no description at this time. Okay, and let's see here.
He's talking to him at the front door right now.
Okay, all right. Do you guys keeping the door closed?
My husband has the door open. He's a police officer and he is armed.
Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is, could you have him close the door, and can I get a description from him? We're looking for someone in the area, and so that's why.
I'm sure that's who it is.
Yeah, I think so too. So, if you're able to, please close the door and get a description if you can.
No, they're looking for somebody, honey.
Yeah, I need
They're on the line.
I need a description as soon as possible.
Yep, please. It's him. We need a description. He's Latino male. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not comfortable right now.
I understand. So Hispanic male, black hair, 5'5". Any other descriptors for him, like clothing?
He's trying to keep him here. Oh my gosh, they're in an altercation. You have to get to our house from 80.
Yeah, they're coming as fast as they can.
At 8:57, Officer Sayoda, who was armed, confronted Julio Segura and attempted to detain him. Segura began resisting Officer Sayoda's efforts and stabbed Officer Sayoda several times. He eventually told investigators that he believed he had killed Officer Sayoda by stabbing him.
I know.
Okay. Just keep me as updated as possible, okay?
You have to get here from 239th Street.
Yeah, I let them know. Get to the house from 239th Street, okay? Keep me updated.
God damn it. He's in a fight with him right now.
Okay, just keep me updated.
Oh, hang on. I gotta call my...
They're moving in now, okay?
I need to call my son-in-law.
Well, you just keep me on the line until they make contact, okay?
Devin,
They're moving in now.
You have to call my son-in-law, Devin Petunia, please. Oh my God.
You want me to call them?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get the information when they're done. Okay, I just want to.
He's fighting with him right now. I don't know what to do. Oh my God.
Yeah, I want you to keep your safe distance. Okay, they're coming in now.
No, I can't. I have to go help him. Oh my God.
I know it's unsafe. Okay, do you see any gun on the suspect at all, or is it just your husband?
He's reaching for something right now. My husband has him. He's in white. My husband is on the ground with him. Yes, the officers are here.
Okay, let me know when the officers have him, okay?
At approximately 9 p.m., deputies arrived on scene and observed Officer Sayoda pick up a gun and run towards the house and start to kick the door, trying to get it open. Officer Sayoda has a tan complexion, was wearing a dark outer shirt, a white t-shirt and blue jeans. During the altercation, Scioto's shirt was pulled up, revealing a white undershirt. Deputy John Feller, who arrived on scene first, believed Officer Scioto to be the suspect who was armed with a gun and trying to enter the home of an off-duty officer. Deputy Feller stated he gave loud verbal commands to get on the ground, but the man believed to be the suspect did not stop. Deputy Feller fired 4 rounds from his patrol rifle, 3 of which struck Officer Scioto center mass.
So I pulled up to the front of the house, and I see a male, a person who generally matches the last update that I had. Tan skin male, white-black combination of shirt and jeans. That person is running back towards what I can see as a gun laying on the ground. As I pull up, that person reaches down and gets for the gun. As he does that, he looks right at me. But it's all very fluid, very fast. Looks at me, reaches down, grabbing the gun, takes a hold of the gun, and runs back to the house. I put my Tahoe in park, and I got out, and I could see the shadow of something went through the front door, and it looked like it closed. The male that I saw pick up the gun, I saw him run to the front door, and he's making movements to get in the door. I gave him commands to get on the ground. I didn't see any response from those commands. He's actively trying to get in the door. I'm not sure if he's trying to kick it, if he's trying to beat on it. I can see that he's trying to get in. At that moment, I knew I had an armed robber, someone who robbed a convenience store with a gun. I knew someone who was completely evading law enforcement and didn't want to be caught by their driving actions and by what they were doing. I knew there was a fight with a homeowner and a law enforcement officer. I knew there was a gun that had been dropped, and I just watched someone pick it up and run towards the house. And someone who resembled what I was given as a last description of that person to be the suspect. So I believed that if that person got in that house, they would kill them. And I had to stop that person from getting in and hurting those innocent people. So I fired my gun multiple times and tried to assess if they were being effective by watching through my optic, as we've all been trained, center mass. So I put my optic on center mass on that person, which was their torso, and fired rounds. I saw the person, as I was assessing, I saw the person step away from the door and back up to the wall and slide down. As the person slid to the ground, I saw the gun fall out of their hand onto the ground. Shortly after that, I saw the garage door open and a female come running out of the garage, and she ran right by me to my left. Moments later, 2 hands came out of the front door, eventually a whole body. It was another male, and somebody, I don't know who, yelled, "That's the suspect." That's something to that effect. That's the suspect. And then I realized now I'd shot the suspect, I'd shot the homeowner, who was a off-duty law enforcement officer.
I've watched that footage and listened to that interview a bunch of times, and it never gets any easier. The suspect later on, when he was interviewed, stated that the firearm he used for the robbery was an airsoft gun, and the vehicle he was driving during the pursuit was found to be stolen from a neighboring county. This is a really tough situation. Obviously, there were mistakes made. It's hard to determine who made the mistakes and how to best correct them in the future. One thing I'm curious about people's opinions is, well, as a police officer, what we tell people when somebody comes to your door, if you think that that person's a bad person or that something bad is going to happen if you go outside, we really encourage people just to stay inside with the door shut and let us come deal with the problem. If this was a regular civilian and somebody came to their door in this manner, began knocking on the door, you looked out the window, saw them, called the police, didn't let them in, and that person was gone before the police arrived, there's a good chance that they would later find that person. As a police officer, especially not knowing the entirety of the situation, not knowing that this was an armed robbery suspect. If I knew that at the time, it's hard to say whether or not I would go outside. But as a police officer, if somebody's at my house and I know that the police are looking for them, there's a good chance that I'm going to go outside. I'm going to interact with that person. One thing that I've talked to my wife about is, if we are in a situation where I have to go outside and deal with something, her job is to lock the door and call 911. That way, neither one of us are going to get back in the house until police arrive. Aside from that happening, or aside from the officer actually not going out to confront this person, it's really hard for me to say definitively what could have been changed to make this better. So when you see incidents like this, I just want you to be aware that stuff like this happens and that these are possibilities, and that let that inform your decision if you decide to take action in this manner in the future. That's all I got for today.